Hello there, and welcome back to Wire and Flames Epic Gaming. So today the World of Warcraft Legion Alpha servers are back up. So I am going to try and do the I'm going to try to do the Warlock quest line for the Affliction Warlock. I know last time I tried this, there were a lot of bugs, and I know that since the servers come back up last night, there are still many bugs, including this one where apparently BattleNet is unavailable. So I hope that this video hopefully will record all right and there won't have any issues. So if we do, I will try my best to edit them out or just redo a different video. So basically, the Warlock quest line for the Affliction Warlock, you start by being summoned here to we're in the sewers of Dalaran, and we're going to talk to this guy because he wants our help. And we're doing some sort of ritual with a giant portal, which doesn't look to be here right now, but I think it falls out of the sky. Let's see. So they're talking about it and talking about summoning this ritual. And oh, it doesn't come out of the sky, or does it? Yeah, it does come out of the sky. There's your portal. And now we're going to all at the same time open it. So we are all summoning this portal. And they're all sort of just talking and casting at the same time. And, like all Warlock quests, nothing is quite what it seems. There's always some sort of accident or demon that ends up being a problem, as we'll see in a moment. And that line is a reference to the raid from Wrath of the Lich King, Trial of the Crusader, where the gnome tries to summon a demon and gets punted. It all happens again in Legion, folks. So, I think it's kind of funny they did a reference like that to the Warlock. And now we are captured, and we are going to be taken to the demon's homeworld, sort of his place where he rules. So before we start, I'm going to summon a pet. And then I'm going to, it's going to have me use an ability on this guy. So you have to use your enslave or enslave ability in order to free yourself here, which is kind of cool. So you're actually using a warlock-based ability to escape this sort of dire situation. And of course now we're going to all get attacked. So, talking about some of the Affliction Warlock's abilities, their DOTs seem to be a little bit more damaging than they were before, and I think that's kind of interesting because, if you knew how to play an Affliction Warlock in the past, they were already pretty powerful, but they did take out a few abilities, and they changed, for Warlocks just in particular, how the resource system works. So you now have 5 soul shards, and that's across the board, at least for, I think, for destruction. I'm not sure about demonology, but I'm pretty sure all warlocks now have these 5 soul shards. So the resources for warlocks are now, all the same instead of having burning embers on destruction. And I think that also allows them for sort of balance out the abilities a little more, if only because they're all using the same resource. So there are some more powerful abilities you do get for the Affliction Warlock, but only after you get the artifact weapon. And so basically, the gnome who got punted was actually this demon guy, I think. Actually, was he? Maybe not. Anyways, let's see what he said. Let's see what he said. This guy. Please wait, don't hurt him. No, this is just a demon on this place, so he's got to help you now. Because he doesn't want you to, or he doesn't want to serve his master. So, obviously, they've taken out some talents that allow you to have the enhanced pets. So you now only have the original versions of the pets, and you can still use the talent that allows you to have a more or infernal or a Doomguard out, but you can't have the enhanced versions that you can currently have in the game. And they decreased a bunch of abilities. So like Grimoire Sacrifice no longer is as strong as it used to be. Supremacy is probably the best one, but it's not an increased like version of the pet. It just empowers the pets. And Service is probably still okay for those builds that use it. But there's a bunch of different things that they've sort of played with, and I'm not sure how they're going to work in dungeons. I'm definitely going to do some videos of just dungeon play on some of these classes later on, once I know for sure that the dungeons are actually working, because last I checked, they were all very bugged. So, also, kind of interesting to point out is that the Warlock's artifact weapon is, or at least for the Affliction Warlock, is in the same location as both the Balanced Druid and the Unholy Death Knight. And I find that it's kind of interesting that they put both. The quest lines are slightly different, but they put after this part of the quest, which is sort of the intro part, which is unique to your class. They all end up going to the same area in Duskwood and Karazhan. So I'm not sure if they're like why they have it that way. At this point, it doesn't look like they're really going to plan on changing it. So it might just be that the artifact weapon quest lines are pretty short and that they didn't really care too much about it. They probably figured people were going to get the artifact and then, level and progress the artifact weapon. The quest lines had to be somewhat interesting, but, obviously they're not the main part of the story of Legion. I mean, they are tied into Legion. Like, certain artifact weapons are, like, specifically good to kill off demons, or the Legion fears them, and that sort of thing. But it's not like that they're like really, really main story quests. They're more class based, and there are some other class based things you'll find as you go through the game. So they probably figured it wasn't their top priority to make it super interesting. They also probably ran out of interesting locations to put the artifact weapons. So another kind of new thing about combat is if you're a DOT class, your DOTs now appear above the little health bars of your enemies. So you no longer have to look up at the top of your screen. You can just look right in front of you. You can see how many stacks are on your target. Now, I have not tested a healer class yet, but I will soon, and then we will know more about whether your HOTs also show up on your friendly targets, because I believe you can see your friendly target's health bar just as you can see your enemies. So I think it's kind of cool. They have this little health bar here, and they also have the DOTs or other effects on top of the health bar. So I think it's a nice addition to the system, and I think it's going to be really helpful in dungeons, raids, combat, etc. So as you can see, also there's a lot of different demons here, and a lot of them are going to be enemies that we're probably going to have to fight in some of the dungeons and possibly even raids. There's a lot of new demons that are introduced in this expansion, and some of them are seen throughout some of the artifact quest lines, while others are actually already in zones. though I've not seen that many in zones. So as of right now, I think they're really only located in some of these quest lines. What's attacking me? Oh, this guy.
I don't have a target.
So the last time I did this quest, it bugged at the last point of this, the last point in this zone. So hopefully today
It's too
it lets
far
us go
away.
through to the next part that we're supposed to go through to, and it doesn't prevent me from doing so. Again, the alpha is obviously in its very early stages, so there's a lot of bugs, and it's sometimes hard for me to record things because the bugs are not yet fixed, and it's going to be a while. So we're going to escape by deactivating this wall. What is that thing? They're like, who is this? So when he's referring to those powerful artifacts, um, he's referring to the artifact weapons for the warlock escape. And this actually is what becomes the Warlock class hall a little bit later on, and it looks a lot different later because obviously the things are not trying to kill you and such. So it will just look a lot, well, not a lot different. It will look a little bit different. It's still a Demon Home world, which is kind of pretty cool for a class order hall, and I think it's kind of cool that the Warlocks get it. It's just very unique. So I'm gonna actually wait a second, because I want my mana to regen before I fight this next guy, because he's sort of a mini boss almost. And that's the other thing I've noticed about Affliction Warlock so far, is that they are very mana heavy. I do know there's a passive in the artifact tree for Affliction that allows you to summon basically ghosts, and if you kill them, it regenerates some of your mana. So I think that's got to be a pretty uh, core mechanic to Affliction Warlocks, because otherwise I think you're just going to run out of mana way too quickly, and I think you're going to have to learn how to use the different abilities that the Scythe offers, because I also noticed that the Scythe previously has given you a bunch of different passive buffs that sort of, depending on what you kill or when you kill the spirits, they actually activate for a limited time. So learning sort of how to use that Scythe is going to be pretty complicated, but I think it's going to be necessary in order to play an Affliction Warlock well. Um, and we'll see how that works. 'Cause I know the Legion expansion is trying to make it so that all the classes are pretty playable, and that there's not too much that's preventing them from, basically competing with other classes. Before, currently in Warlords, we know there's a lot of classes that are not really good for raiding, or they don't have enough damage output. And I think that hopefully in Legion we will not see that issue as much. So this guy's just dying, and then we gotta kill.
I need a target.
We gotta loot them. So I'm going to take this book. Escape. Oh boy. I don't think that was supposed to happen. He knocked me back. Oh wait, maybe it was. I'm supposed to follow this guy. Clytus. So I apologize, the screen's like really shaking here too. And now I gotta kill this thing before we can escape. Oh, and it also shows you your soul shards on the bottom of the screen near your health bar on the bottom of the screen, which is kind of cool as well. Just put a seed on him. And we just escaped from the Legion Portal homeworld, if the loading screen works. But anyway, so after this, what we just saw is basically a lot of our fellow warlocks were captured or killed. I think the majority of them were killed. So now, as soon as we get back to Dalaran, we are going to go search for the artifact weapon to try to save the remaining ones that are alive and kill the demon. But first, apparently, we have to wait for this wonderful loading screen, which hopefully does not end in a world server crash or basically disconnect from my character, because it does not like loading through certain zones and things like that. Alright then, so it looks like we're now back through the portal and we're back in Dalaran. So this is the part of the quest line where we're going to start searching for an artifact weapon. So we're going to talk to this guy. So as you can see, they're not really ready to put all the stuff in. So this is the demonology staff, it looks like. What else do we have? And this is the oh wow, that's actually pretty nice. That is the destruction staff. And we are going to go right now with the Affliction scythe. Deadwind Harvester. Okay, select. So now we're going to go take a portal to, I believe, Karazhan, and then from there we'll go to Duskwood. So like I said, a lot of this secondary part of the quest line is exactly identical for the most part with the Unholy Death Knight and the Balanced Druid. So you're gonna see some stuff from my previous videos because obviously, or my Druid video obviously is gonna heavily overlap with this quest line. And I will just hope that all the loading screens work and that we can get to where we're going. I think everything's loaded in. You might notice I keep checking the latency just to see how the game's doing. So again, there's a bunch of different portals here, and we're going to take the one to Karazhan. And we're actually not starting quite in Karazhan. We're going to be starting in Duskwood, but that's right next to Karazhan, so this is the closest portal. So I am going to pull a mount out of my journal, and we're going to fly over to Duskwood. And I apologize, the game is a little bit laggy just because it's an alpha. I'm trying to find a solution so that the video recording is less laggy, but since the game is really not changeable at the moment, there is not too much that I have found that I can do to make it look better. So I apologize. So this is Duskwood, and right over here is where we're going. We're going to investigate a manor, which I've already investigated several times, so this should be hopefully pretty easy. Oops. If I can get through the trees. There we go. Dark Riders. Okay. And there, look, there's some friendly druids, and now it's instanced, so we don't see the druids anymore, but they will be here as well. And now we gotta convince this guy into letting us follow him.
See you later. You need something?
So accept, and we're gonna go with him. First, we gotta take out some Dark Riders. I think our druid friend is back. We have several druid friends. Hello, druid friends. They're all horde, but okay, they won't attack me, I think. So, where is this guy? Right here. Come on. We have to wait for him. He's gonna mount up. I will follow. So now we ride through Duskwood to Karazhan, and we fight Dark Riders along the way. And there's some more right here. And then, since there's 4 of us, they all die pretty quickly. So having some other friends makes this go a lot faster. Or having just other players around you. I think we're done with combat. Is he not out of combat? Hello? We're done here. Come on. There we go. And the NPCs are still a little bit sluggish. Um, so it takes a little bit of time for them to comprehend what's going on around them. Okay, I'm just going to try something very quickly. So let's see if putting my graphics down a little bit lower gets rid of that lag. And I'm not sure it will. It might just be server related. So, where did he go?
I don't have a target.
Did I lose him? That is completely possible. I may have actually lost our guy. Maybe not. Let's go up ahead and see if I can find him. Oops, am I going the wrong way now? Huh. Well, I may have lost my guy, so I have to go back and find him again.
What can I do for you?
Yep, I lost him, so now we have to fight all our way through again.
I need to target something first.
I think this is actually a little bit bugged right now because he was not on his horse yet. Welcome to Alpha.
I need to get closer.
So, Drain Life is actually a very powerful ability so far in the alpha. I know in the past it hasn't really done that much. It's kind of been like a side ability, but now it is going to be part of the core rotation, to my understanding. Oops. So now we're going to search for this camp and look for what find what we're looking for, hopefully.
Greetings. Have a good one.
And it's this book that causes those things to pop out of the ground. And the guy who we're trying to chase, who's the leader of the Dark Riders, tell us that we're fools for following him, and that we'll pay. But he's the one who's actually going to pay later. And what do you know? These things are dead. I'm going to grab the compass. I'm going to turn this in.
Hey there. See you around.
So now I have to tune that at the different sites. So I'm going to actually fly around. So as you can see, there's some different sites we're going to have to go to. And this is the unique part of this story quest line. So the Druid one, you follow a group of Worgans. In the Warlock one, you're attuning yourself to ghosts, essentially. So you'll see in a minute how this works. I believe I have the compass somewhere in my bag. Or do I have to just walk to the places? Oh, there it is. And you'll get to see a little cutscene. Oh, not cutscene, but this is the original owner of the scythe that we were going after. And this is Karazhan, for anyone who's never been here. And one more. Which is back at the beginning of the zone. Which is kind of interesting. And we'll have to fly all the way back. Now they attack me. Just wonderful. Okay. So we found out basically by looking through all those different sort of visions, we found out the fate of Deadwind Harvester, the scythe, which I'm going after. And now we're going to go into, I think we're flying towards the Karazhan Catacombs, which is where the scythe is going to be located. And basically the enemy there, he possesses, for all three quest lines, the Balanced Druid Scythe, the Affliction Warlock Scythe, and the sword that the Unholy Death Knights go after. Actually, is there something else?
You need something?
Yep,
See you
go
there.
into the Karazhan Catacombs. Complete the Dark Rider scenario. Hey look, those druids from before. And then it switches, and welcome. So, you've probably seen me play for this before. Basically, these skeletons come out of the wall, and you must kill them. We're just gonna do just that.
I need a target.
So like I said earlier, the Warlocks, they spend a lot of mana, so I'm just going to sit here for a minute and let my mana regen, because otherwise I will definitely die as we continue through these catacombs. And also my pet probably should be resummoned because he's at low health. Actually, he recovers his own health, so while I'm recovering mana, he'll recover some health. Um, and we can talk about some of the talents for a moment. So there's a few different talents. I like this one, which is corruption is permanent um, on NPCs. So basically, once you cast it, it doesn't actually need to be recast. And also, your this the what do you call it? I guess it's what is it? Seed of corruption now actually causes corruption on other targets when they explode, and then there's another passive that if you have a soul shard available, it will use that and it will plant more of those seeds of corruption on 4 additional nearby enemies. So it's allowing Affliction Warlocks to do a lot more AOE damage or multi-target damage. I guess it's not really AOE, and some of that is really cool. Um, and then this one allows Agony to ramp up twice as high, so it increases the sort of DOT damage of that, and that is, I think, really helpful. So we're going to continue now. Oops, I'm going to stay out of that. Oh yeah, forgot. Spinning axes are a thing in this place, so You'll get moved or thrown back a little bit if you don't get out of the way. I'm just gonna ramp up agony to 20. I'll throw a seed on him. I should kill him. And he's dead. That was easy. And now this is the part where it wants you to use a interrupt ability. And I believe I have something that is an interrupt in my spellbook somewhere. Or did I choose not to take it? Yeah, I'm not sure I chose to take it. Can I use fear on him?
I'm out of range.
No, banish is out of range too.
It's too far away.
I think I can just send my pet to go attack him. Or is there a different pet? I think there's a different pet I have to use actually. Let's do Fell Hunter. There we go. And now I interrupted him. We'll switch back to my other pet. So it won't let me do it at the moment. Okay, so I guess I'm stuck using this. Oops, this is bugging a little bit. So there's the scythe, but unfortunately it will not give it to us right away. So I'm actually going to summon a Voidwalker. So we're going to try to go and grab it. And get pushed back. So I have to go claim it. There should be some skeletons that pop out of the ground here. There we are. Let's use a seed. Seed's really nice because it just pops as soon as they take a certain amount of damage. And if you have all your DOTs on them, then the seed will almost automatically go off as soon as it's cast. So it's a really nice ability, and it's more of a multi-target ability, but you can use it on single targets as well, and it does a nice amount of damage. So I would just recommend casting it whenever you get a chance. So I'm actually going to change this. There we go. Change my bar up a little bit. And I'm going to wait to go through this door because I'm going to need some more mana before we fight our next set of skeletons, and then we'll be fighting the final boss in this area. Now, at the end of this place, we are actually not quite done with the artifact quest line. We must go back to the Legion homeworld, and we must save our remaining friends who were captured by the demon, and we must slay him. So we will do that as soon as my mana is back up and start that. Okay, I think we're good. Skeletons. Several skeletons, actually.
have a target. I need a target.
There's some more Dark Riders. So I'm going to need more mana again. Actually, do I have some food? Yes, I can. So they give you an alpha, a lot of food to replenish your mana. I should have probably been using that earlier. And now we can continue. Okay. And there's the boss with our scythe. Again, we just gotta eat some food, regen some mana. And now we're gonna fight him. Now normally there's a unique mechanic here, but I don't remember what it is exactly for the Warlock. Because depending on the artifact weapon he's using, he's gonna use a unique mechanic against you. And then the scythe, I think, absorbs his soul. And there's our priest friend. So we're gonna take this.
Greetings. Have a good one.
So I believe to get out of here, I'm just going to use a Hearthstone. If I have one, I do. Yeah. So we're gonna go back to Dalaran, and we're gonna go talk to the demon who sent me originally to get the scythe. Now that I have the scythe, we're gonna return back to the demon homeworld, and we're going to slay the leader of that homeworld. And again, I apologize right now. It's probably really laggy. Dalaran is really unavoidable for the quest lines, and again, it's just a very laggy city. Oh, looks like there's another warlock here. Interesting. So back through the portal to kill a demon. That is strange. So that there next to me is a spirit that my artifact weapon summoned. But I already killed the demon, so it's not necessary to kill. Actually, I will anyways. Just to show you. So when you kill that, you get some buffs. And some things that are pretty cool. Okay, I'm taking a lot of damage. Because I have a curse. Do I want to remove that? I don't think I do. That's a problem. So I apologize. It seems that I somehow managed to get a curse. So I'm just going to give myself a soul stone, and then I'll probably just die and revive. First, let's see how far we get with this. So I have his heart. Do I? Yep. That was easy. Use soulstone. So now we're gonna go all the way up here, and we're gonna place his heart over the place. But I think I actually need to fight some more things, so I'm gonna summon my Voidwalker again. So that now turns into your class hall. You now control the demons here, and I believe that later some of them will become your followers. So ritual return. And there's an altar here, which allows you to use your first artifact trait, which is called Reap Soul. Deals a lot of damage over 3 seconds for 42 seconds. Each time Reap Soul deals damage, it increases damage frequency. So it's another DOT ability. So we're going to put that actually right here. And there's a lot of other abilities too that are all pretty much passive. It's basically all AoE and DOT damage. And you can use blood or shadow artifacts for this artifact weapon. So we are just about done with the Affliction Warlock questline, but first I'm going to show you where the missions are to go into different zones, and also your first follower for the Warlock. Can I jump? No, I'm not going to jump. I'm just going to carefully go to jump. There we go. And can I fly in here? Probably not. I do not think flying is in class halls at the moment. I am right. Oops, I got stuck in a bush. That works out very well. So this is my first follower, who I'm going to revive. He's dead. Now he's not dead. So he's your first follower.
Victory.
I apologize, this is really laggy, which is not supposed to be. And I think that the reality of the alpha, unfortunately, is that until they figure out, whenever they bring the server back up online, until they figure out what's causing all the lag, some of my videos, unfortunately, are going to be a little bit laggy. And I'm just going to try my best to make sure that they are not as laggy as, or they're not so laggy that you can't see the video. So this is your battle point. Oops. And it's lagging now, unfortunately. There we go. So actually there is one mission here, which some people apparently have. Oh, actually no, there's not. Okay. So there's all these, this would generally be what a mission shows up like. They've sort of added in a few tooltips for the missions, but the missions aren't actually available yet. So you have Valshara, High Mountain, sorry, High something, and Stormheim. And then you turn those in. So that is the end of the Affliction Warlock questline, and I'll probably try to do some more videos of some of the other specializations as I'm able, since the server is not too happy with me, or not too happy with anybody. So if you have any specific classes that are available, there is now a template up on the World of Warcraft site saying exactly what current content is available in the alpha. So if you see anything that is currently available that you really want me to do a video on, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this video, and please subscribe to the Criminal Gods YouTube channel, and I'll see you next time.